Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed.
What?
And now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed. And now that you haters.
Episode 45, the last episode. We're here. Welcome into another episode, another edition of The Rewind, brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3. The captain, me, this sexy young fella you're looking at, in the Christmas spirit. Ho, 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 but easy. I'm Monty Moss, and my co-host, Brian Garvin, will be joining me momentarily. We got a pretty good episode lined up for you guys tonight. It is the last one, and we're going to make sure we go out in good fashion before the hiatus and holiday break. We do know that our producer, Chris, is having his first newborn this week, so we want to give a special shout out to Chris on hopefully a successful delivery of that new Michigan Wolverine baby that's getting ready to bless the earth. And Chris is really excited, so we're trying to go out on a bang before Chris goes on hiatus. And after tonight's episode, we will return the first week of the new year, January 2026. And we're going to make sure January is going to be off to a good start for us at The Rewind. So appreciate all the love and support. If you haven't, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all of our social media platforms at The Rewind_GSC3. Yes, I'm in Christmas spirit, Christmas edition. No Scrooge. We know Brian loves the Scrooge, but damn it, I'm not. And we're going to make sure tonight's episode goes exactly as planned. And that's me smacking Brian up as I know how each and every week, because I've been sick and tired of his complaints and his buffoonery week in and week out. So let's get him in here, our co-host of The Rewind, Temple alums, Oklahoma's finest, born and raised in Chicago, the cold state of Chicago, negative 20 degrees last week, folks. He is also 400 career wins in his co-ed coaching career. He's coached both football and basketball. He's a four-time state champion, and he's here for the last episode of The Rewind before Christmas break. BG Brian Garvin's in the house. Episode 45, BG. What's good, brother? How are you, man? Do you like the sweater?
No, that is one ugly-ass sweater, but you know, I'm gonna end this off. I'm gonna go get me a jersey with a 45 on it. It's gonna say Chicago Bears, because I told you that we'll be up here 10-4 when we go take care of business this weekend, just like I said last year. That's why I have that up there. It's for a reason. And I told you we coming. We back, baby. We back.
Nah, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. I mean, like I said, man, I stand on business. If the playoffs were to start today, the Bears wouldn't beat the Rams. The Bears wouldn't beat the Lions. The Bears wouldn't beat the Niners. The Bears damn sure wouldn't beat the Packers. I mean, I can go on. The NFC is loaded.
Loaded. Okay. Yes, they are. With the Bears being at top. But I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. One thing about it,
you didn't expect the Bears to be 10-4.
I didn't expect them to be 10-4, but I expect them to be 8-8. I really did, or 8-9.
Oh my God.
I thought this would be 8-9. Yeah, of course, 8-9.
Okay.
I didn't think they was going to be 10-4. They shocked the hell out of me, but they're progressing in the right direction. There's no question about it. If they win these last two, or last two or three, they're going to be 3 games left, because they added a game and now 17.
Yeah,
they're going to be something special in the playoffs if they get past the first freaking round. It depends. See how the stars line up. I can tell you one thing: the damn Patriots got their ass kicked.
No, we didn't. Well, defensively,
35-31. Defensively,
we allowed Buffalo
35 points,
5 straight possessions in the second half, including giving up a touchdown before the first half was over, including being up 21-0 in the second quarter. So don't worry, we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm glad you won't be here, because you're probably going to hate me anyways. But we good. We got Baltimore this upcoming Sunday. We gonna take care of. We good. Good. Yeah. Every team needs adversity, and I feel right now is another adversity moment. Mike Vrabel and his defensive coordinator and our staff's got to clean some things up, but we good. I mean, the way Baltimore looked, against Cincinnati, man, I don't know. I mean, Baltimore, I doubled down and went with the Bengals. I should have stayed with my gut. The gut will never lie to you, America. Remember that. Your gut will never lie. My gut said double down, stick with Baltimore. They need to win. They're at 7-7 now, Bryant, but I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to close this year out, because you guys got a tough game on Sunday against the Packers at home.
Micah Parsons is out for the year. This year, and I'm going to end it on this. I think I'm going to retire my own damn self from fantasy football. I can't deal with it no more. I can't. This is the first year I had 2 separate teams, 2 separate ones, and all 4 quarterbacks are hurt. It was so bad that they had to bring in Phillip Rivers, and he sucked. Everybody's like, hey, he had 6 fantasy points. 6.
You didn't pick him up, did you?
No.
Oh, good man.
This is terrible. He was awful. I mean, look, you can't tell me that the backup quarterback could have done the same thing.
Well, we know why. We know why Phillip Rivers.
Well, we know. We know.
we know why.
We know why. We know why. They wouldn't bring me back.
No, unfortunately not. Especially if you've been retired for 5 years from the game.
Well, it sounds like Eastside High School because I know they won't bring me back.
Maybe under different circumstances, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, that's just what it is.
It's safe to say that ship has sailed, right? Or never say never.
Well, float on.
Brian, I know you got to get going. I know your presence will be missed tonight, and I have even made some moves, some calls to have a guest co-host come in for tonight. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. And you want to give any final remarks? I mean, it's episode 45 episodes during a year. That's pretty impressive to say. And it's our last episode before the holiday break. So any remarks, anything you want to share with the people before you sign off episode 45?
Merry Christmas, man, to everybody. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't drink and drive. Go somewhere safe. Do what you got to do. Maintain your sanity. And let's bring in the year with a bang. We're going to need it because, man, the economy is in the shitter. And we got to do something about it and make some more income. So I'm going out here to make me some bread, baby. I got to make some bread. So I'll talk to you guys in the new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. I won't see you probably until the new year, virtually, I should say. I'm to be determined on Christmas at your house. And I would say I would miss you, but I'll be lying. Okay. And, but during the week of us being away, there's going to be some conversations, going to be some meetings had, and we're going to have to try. We're going to do some things a little bit different in the new year. So I look forward to it, but we got to take care of business tonight, but always a pleasure. Thank you for being on 44 episodes. No, I'm sorry, 43. You did miss one episode, and tonight you'll be away. So we'll call it episode and a half because it's a half a day for you.
Right.
Must be nice to get paid to come here for 10 minutes and then leave. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
My paycheck says 000.00.
Well, until we get some sponsorships and some money coming into the brand, you are still employed otherwise. All right. Be pretty messed up. You get fired on your day off. All right. Ask your own more.
So you had to go there. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's so bad that I have my ass on the Michigan M because I'm just that mad. And I'm not lying either. Look at this shit right there. My ass is right on their M.
Well, Bryant, we love you. Thank you for all you do. The people, I'm sure, will glad to see your lovely face again in the new year or not. And enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see you. Down the road, my man. Always a pleasure.
See you down the road. Peace.
Our co-host BG Bryant Garv signing off because he's got more important things to do than besides come here to do his job, and that's to be the co-host of the Rewind. But that's okay. That's why it's called the power of the pivot. And I've already pivoted to get someone else just as much more better and someone with more brains than Bryant. And this gentleman that I'm getting ready to introduce, he's been a fan. I can't even say fan. He's been a advocate and supporter of Global Sports Entertainment 3 when we launched our Facebook group page, which you guys have the access to join with our links in our link tree on our Instagram page, as well as our links all over our social media platforms. And I reached out to him. And I said, hey, listen, I would love to have you on at some point. I did have availability today. We just had to make a little bit of different changes, but he was open. He said, no problem. I'll be there. He gave me his word, and damn it, he's going to give me his word, and he's going to get ready to show up and do what he's supposed to do, and that's do the darn thing. So let me introduce you guys to him. Brother by the name of John Spencer, born and raised in Goldsboro, North Carolina, attended Howard University for 4 years between 1984 and 1988. John grew up playing all sports. His first love was football and tennis. Found basketball a little bit later on in middle school. He played for nationally ranked high school basketball team. They played for the state championship against Kansas' own, the great Danny Manning, in 1983. After graduating from college, Spencer went on to play professional basketball overseas for over 16 years. Upon his retirement, Spencer worked for the New York Knicks as a scout and a color analyst for ESPN. He now runs 540 Sports, and he is also a full-time service client representation firm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I just said North Carolina earlier this summer for a wedding in Cary. Well, let's get him in here. John Spencer, the great, join us from North Carolina, Howard alums finest, episode 45. John, appreciate you taking the time to carve some things you scheduled to join us in the Rewind. It's good to see you, brother. How are you?
Man, it is a blessing to be here. And let's go back to what you originally said about being a fan. I'm absolutely all in. I'm absolutely a fan. So whatever you got to say to get it done, I'm all in, because you guys bring it real. You're lighthearted. You're intelligent. You're rehearsed. And you know what the hell you're talking about. And it's engaging. So, that sponsorship money is coming. All you got to do is call me. I know how to get it done.
Oh, man, good. That's that. You know what? I'm happy you said, look at God bringing things together, because I'm tired of using my 9 to 5 to fund this thing, man. I'm being stretched so far thin with paying in people that work for the brand and trying to just get this thing out there the best way I can. I mean, you do know my dream is to be a sports broadcaster, but the podcasting world can open doors in other different avenues as well. So we just keep our options open, and we're going to let God continue to bless me as the best way he know how.
Well, there's a young fella named Shams Charania who actually is on ESPN now. And when I first started off in the agency business, Shams and I met at the PIT in Portsmouth. For those who don't know, it is a senior tournament for college basketball players trying to get scouted to get into the NBA. And I tried my best to connect Shams with everybody. So he went from working on a local website to going to the Atlantic, now on ESPN, and he's like big time. We're in Vegas for the Summer League this summer, and he and I are walking down the corridor in Thomas and Mack, and these kids are running up and down. I'm used to these kids looking at me, being a former player, and I'm like, wait a minute, ready to sign autographs, and all of a sudden they're going to Sham. So I felt like a piece of shit. So honestly, that's my guy. I love him to death. Chris Hayes, all those guys, man, they started just like you, hustling. So keep doing your thing, brother. You're gonna be there real soon.
We don't have a choice, man. I don't have a choice. Can't quit now. I'm already 45 episodes in, and a lot of money I can't say down the drain. A lot of money invested into this thing. So with God's grace, I'm going to keep going. And it's funny that you said, because Shams has big shoes to fill, and he's doing a damn good job filling those shoes after taking over for ESPN, great ESPN insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, who's returned back to his alma mater to be involved in the whole St. Bonnie's, the president, and working things out in the NIL, trying to get his school back on the map in terms of recruiting. They're doing a great job. So shout out to Shams, shout out to Chris Hayes, does a good job for TNT at the time and beyond TNT, and also NBA TV and sideline reporting, doing what he does. But, John, it's going to be a great episode tonight. Why? Because I'm blessed that you're here. Secondly, I get to hear your opinion on a little bit of everything. You're knowledgeable in college football. You're knowledgeable in NBA and the NFL. And I'm going to make sure that I take no hostages, leave no prisoners tonight. But let's get to it, Chris. As we always do, we're going to switch some things up. We're going into college football playoff. The first round of college football playoff begins this Friday, December 19th. We get a preview of Alabama at 10-3 versus Oklahoma at 10-2. For you who don't know, Oklahoma won the first meeting early on when these two teams met on November 15th, when Oklahoma won by a total of 23-21, even though Alabama dominated in pretty much every category from passing yards to total yards. I do know from total yards perspective, Alabama dominated 466 to 212. But if you guys don't remember, in that game alone, Alabama had 3 turnovers, including the pick 6 that Oklahoma was able to get early in the game. I felt like from that game alone, that was a jump start and the hot start that Oklahoma needed, which was a difference maker for me when I look back at the game and I watch the tape, it set the tone for everything else. But we get a lot of folks out there, John, haven't been pleased with the top 12 in terms of the college football playoff rankings, but no better way to start off the college football playoff with the first round between these two teams right here. Who do you like to see and who do you like to win between Alabama and Oklahoma?
Well, I have a nephew named Jaron Reed who plays for the Seattle Seahawks. He's a former national champion at Alabama back in the day. And if I went against Alabama right now, I wouldn't be able to go back to Goldsboro now. Jaron's about 6'5", 325 pounds, and as mean as anybody I've ever seen in my life. But the reason I think I'd like to see Alabama come out on top is because they did lose the first game. It's going to be interesting to check out Alabama and how they respond to not having a bye going into some of the most important football games that they've ever played since Saban actually stepped off campus, and now they got to fight their way back to the top. So it's interesting to see exactly how their quarterbacks are going to go out and deal with some of the pressure that Oklahoma is going to try to put on them. But from my opinion, I just think Alabama actually has a better team, and I think they're a 1.5 spread going towards Oklahoma. But I think Alabama will come back and just wear them out.
It'll be interesting to see, John. I know Ty Simpson, the quarterback for Alabama, has got to have a really good game. And it's a revenge game. Anytime you get the opportunity to play a team you lost to, especially in the SEC, you don't take that for granted. I know Oklahoma coming in with pretty much a lot of ammunition to fire, because a lot of people say controversy, Alabama with, being a team that lost 3 games this year shouldn't be in the college football playoff. I'm not a part of the committee. I know everyone looks at the committee in a different perspective. But one of the most disappointing things for me, I should say, when we talk about Alabama, and predominantly in this game, is pretty much what Ryan Williams, wide receiver for Alabama, pretty much not being the player, the explosive wide receiver that we've seen last year. I know Alabama has some different coaching changes for Nick Saban retiring. Right. The system offensively is a little bit more different, doesn't cater to Ryan Williams' game. But if I'm Alabama, I have to find ways to get him involved early to pretty much set the tone for the offense. We do know Alabama can throw, they can pass. And look, I went against Alabama early in the year when I had an Alabama fan on by Nazir Williams, who's actually overseas playing in his first professional contract with playing in Spain. And I took Alabama against Tennessee, and I was wrong. I took Vanderbilt against Alabama. I was wrong. So I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide here. I know they got 3 losses. Everyone's mad at me, but hey, listen, roll Tide, let it be to advance to the second round.
Well, one of the great things about college football is that the scouting is a lot more precise than the NFL. NFL can change up like that, but in college, teams don't really change that much. One of the things about the first game when Alabama played Oklahoma is that there was a dominance by Oklahoma's defensive front.
Yes.
Pressing that line back. And that's something that I know Alabama is going to go out and pay particular attention to make sure that they come in and just, I hate to say it like this, but fight like hell. Because if they don't, it's going to be a long day. Long day. It's going to be a long day. Because if that front line can manipulate Alabama top 4 front linemen, it's over. It's absolutely over. So I'm betting that Alabama will come back with a game plan that makes a lot of sense. And I think there's still a lot of short passes out in the flat, maybe some screen passes, something across the middle to get the quarterback comfortable, to open up the running game just a little bit. If they can open up the running game a little bit, it's a problem.
It's a problem. And I know Ty Simpson, he can't throw no interceptions this game. He's got to play a picture-perfect game. And Alabama can't turn the football over also, because Oklahoma is good at forcing teams to do turnovers. But one of the things I like, John, about this new college football setup with the 12 teams is that the first round is at these home team stadiums. So the fact that the first round will be at Oklahoma, we do know how exciting Memorial Stadium can get, how loud it can get. I mean, me, I'm a Wolverine fan. My Wolverines went in there week 2 and pretty much lost. So it'll be exciting. This will be another good game right here to start off college football playoff, and I'm excited for it. Another game I'm excited for, and I'm curious to get your perspective on, is Miami versus Texas A&M. Now, we know Miami hasn't had the greatest of schedules in terms of non-conference, and also trying to put their resume together to be a 10 seed in the playoff. I know a lot of people said out there that they shouldn't be in the playoff either. I personally disagree. I think they are one of the best 12 in the country. But Texas A&M, John, being 7th seed here, 11-1, pretty good year from non-conference and also dominating SEC play. Who do you like to advance in this game here?
I'm going to take off the professionalism of what I would normally do as far as breaking down a game. And I'm going to say this. Miami has one of the most historic football programs in the country. Yes. I mean, you can go back to the early 80s to now, and you can find Hall of Famers from college to the NFL. And to slap Miami in the face like people are doing, rooting for Notre Dame, wishing that college football would have actually, propelled Notre Dame ahead of Miami. I think Miami sees that as an opportunity to go out and really show people that they screwed up. I really wanted to say something else, but I'm going to try to keep it classic for a little bit. But, the last thing you want to do is to put another chip on the shoulder of Miami. The ACC is already having a hard time. So Miami's kind of pissed off about everybody like, I don't really give a damn about the ACC. We want SEC. That's all we care about. That's all we want. Maybe we'll take Ohio State, Michigan from time, but we really don't want to deal with any ACC schools. Well, they got to deal with somebody now. And I think I don't think you can just pick one person on Miami's roster right now that needs to propel them to that next level in football. It's got to be a whole team effort. And I think that's what you're going to think. I think pride is on the line right now for Miami more than any other team in the CFB right now.
John, one of the things I will say is that I've been an advocate for how the ACC, can improve. But flip side to it, when I look at the SEC conference as a whole, it is hard for a team that's not used to playing that type of physicality that Miami's getting ready to go against in Texas A&M. Now, facts are facts, and in Miami's last 4 games, their last 4 wins were, of course, taking care of business in the ACC. Now, we know that Texas A&M lost their last game of the season. Their only loss this year against Texas on the road. Now, Texas A&M has a perfect home record this year at 7-0, and that's including winning in the SEC.
Tough place to play.
Tough place to play, but more importantly, tough place to win. And right. I don't know if Miami, in terms of just having the horses to go into a place like Texas A&M and winning, because Texas A&M has played really well at home. They average over 30 points a game at home. And Miami's defense is not the greatest, but also do they have the mental capacity to withstand 40 minutes of hell? Because it will be 40 minutes of hell at Texas A&M. I don't know if Miami can pull this one out. I do believe it'll be close, but if I had to give my pick, which I will give my pick, I'm going to take Texas A&M at home. I don't know if Miami defensively can withstand what Texas A&M has offensively, but more importantly, Texas A&M defensively. I mean, look, we do know Carson Beck hasn't pretty much been the quarterback I would assume that Miami would have hoped in terms of getting them to that level of being a top 5 team in the country this year. He has been suspect this year. And, Texas A&M, I like them at home, man. I just like them advancing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough, especially if Keontae Scott doesn't play. If Scott doesn't come out and just lace them up and just give them the very best of what he can provide, and there's some speculation that he may play, I think that's going to be the X factor for them. And on the flip side, the quarterback for Texas A&M. Hey, you talking about slipping up, making a mistake, and somebody eating you alive and picking you apart?
Yeah,
he's a surgeon.
Marcel Reed is definitely a surgeon.
He's a surgeon, and so So when I told you I was just going to take my analytical hat off and I was going to use the other side, that was the emotional little bitch in me, because you want to see, because I live in ACC territory, and you want to see the ACC guys do well. And you just heard what I just told you about Brian about Texas. I could care less about Texas.
Yeah.
But if I had to go to Vegas to put some money on the game,
do you know what to do?
I'm taking Texas A&M all the time. Good
man. I love that. And I'm happy Texas is not in the college football playoff because, I know it's not a part of the dialogue here, but, for Steve Sarkisian to come out and plead his case on why Texas at a 3-loss team be in the college football playoff. Sorry, not sorry, Steve Sarkisian. I mean, in big games, you fold like a lawn chair. You've had your moments of opportunity to win. Yes, I give you credit for scheduling Ohio State week 1. That is the only thing I give to you. You gave the fans what they wanted to see. Archie Manning's first career start at Texas, on the road at Ohio State. Tough place to play at the Horseshoe. Tough place to win. That's the only thing I give. But we look at this game here, Oregon versus JMU. It's really not much for me to talk about in regards to this game. I like Oregon to pretty much beat the dog breaks off of JMU. I do know Oregon is explosive. I do know Oregon can score. And there's no way you can convince me that out of the 12 teams in the country, or even the top 20 teams in the country, you can convince me otherwise or make a legitimate argument that JMU is a top 12 team and deserves to be in the college football playoff. Agree or disagree?
I absolutely 1,000% agree with you, but I will say this. Every ACC school that went out and played JMU, when they lose, they disappear for 15 years. They disappear. They can't get anybody on the schedule. They have the weakest schedule of anybody in the CFP. Matter of fact, Appalachian State had a down year, and Liberty had a down year as well, too. So They really don't have a test, but I'm an emotional guy. I'm sensitive.
You better not.
I'm sensitive.
You better not.
I'm going to say with my emotions and with all my so-called greatness and intellect that JMU going to get beat by 50.
That's hey, look, I'm looking at this right here. I got my notes. Right now, they got Oregon with the favorite at the spread at 21.5.
Hey,
I mean,
man, they're being nice. They're being nice.
I think they're also being nice by having the over right now, over under at 49.5.
That's crazy.
Oregon going to score 40 by half. They won
by halftime. I looked at this game and I said to myself, there's a difference between wet wipe and toilet tissue. Both of them tear pretty easily, but one's a lot cleaner than the other one. It's going to be a clean mess.
It's going to be a clean mess. No pun intended. I mean, this will pretty much notify and put the committee on stand in terms of there's no way you should have voted these guys.
Why? I have to ask you this question. I mean,
sure.
You're a knowledgeable guy. You have resources to get information. You're thorough. You do your research. You got the sexiest Santa Claus hat on the planet. I mean, and that, with the magic of Santa, you got some insight. Yeah,
I do.
Gorgeous, gorgeous sweater. The magic of Santa gives you a different insight than most people because it's mystical. Santa Claus is so is college football playoff. It's a mystical thing. This time of year, you don't want to play with kids' emotions. See, Santa's bringing me a present. Well, what do they bring you for Christmas? I'm bringing you Oregon. Now, as a strategic person, college football, and you want to bring in the most advertisers, the most sponsors, the most drama, the most excitement, and you want people to believe that you're real.
Correct.
Why? You got your thinking cap on.
Listen, my argument or my answer to your question is why. Again, I can sit here and I remember when prior to the final 12 came out a few weeks ago, and we were on an episode talking about it. I said, in my opinion, if I was a part of the committee or if I was a member in that room, I would have BYU in the college football playoff. I can make the argument on why they should be there. I can also make the argument on why Notre Dame should be in and why they shouldn't be. So I can go both ways with that. But more importantly, if there was a team that I would allow either at the 11th seed or the 12th seed, it would be Vanderbilt. And I get it, another SEC school.
No question.
I can go down the rabbit hole. I think the committee, they like to stir up controversy because you can't sit here and we talk about non-conference and putting a strength wins record and losses. how you can convince me otherwise that JMU is one of the best 12. But to devil's advocate, Santa is pretty much giving them humble pie for Christmas because the committee is responsible for this, but it's sad that JMU has to pay the price for their wrongdoing actions against Oregon first round. And look, Oregon, they're going to look at JMU just another team to prepare for, another team to win, because Oregon and Dan Manning, they got big plans to get back to make a deep run, I should say, in the college football playoff. But it's no different. It's no different here. It's just like Tulane, which we're getting ready to talk about. Tulane at 11. Why? How? How's that possible?
It's not going to be a green wave. That's for damn sure.
It ain't.
I just and that's the thing with me. And, I spent a lot of years playing basketball overseas, and, I actually did sideline reporting for the Atlantic 10 Conference for football long time ago. And you see things that you think, maybe, there's a chance. And you get a little bit of hope. And then you start believing in Santa. And then, you're sitting up at night and waiting for little hooves to land on top. Those hooves never come. You sit up all night long, but all of a sudden you see stuff up underneath your tree and you can't figure it out.
You can't figure it out.
And that's the problem with sports in America right now. I mean, I think it's gotten to a situation whereas, unfortunately, gambling is a big part of what's going on, and you gotta have some games. Whereas you talk about the over and under 49 points,
49.5,
and you know how many people are going to lose that bet. So that's the real game, in my opinion, for that particular game. So everybody else got a chance. Alabama, they got a chance. Miami has a chance. Oklahoma has a chance. But then you say to yourself, all right, so we're really just trying to figure out how bad they're really going to get their asses kicked. So so this is where the money starts to come in. It's like, let's just roll like this. So yeah, I mean, I love Tulane as a school. Great law program. I do too. Great law program. And the mere fact that Ole Miss doesn't have a coach, really.
Oh man! So let me ask you this, John. How do you feel? And I want to get your perspective from a professional point of playing, and what that would be if that were you in the locker room. And also, I want to get it from the analytical side, with you obviously being on the sideline and contributing to ESPN in multiple different ways. What was your initial reaction when you first off heard the news of the possibilities of Lane Kiffin possibly leaving Ole Miss to go to either Florida or LSU, and then fast forward the news of your reaction to Lane Kiffin actually leaving Ole Miss to get on a private jet to go to Baton Rouge and then to be the next head coach of LSU Tigers?
I will say this. First of all, that conversation could have waited till after the season was over. They could have shut it completely down. The mere fact that he actually had someone to have that conversation and then allowed for LSU to leak it, to me, that was to stop a train from rolling, because they were rolling.
They are 11-1. First 11 win record in school history.
So why screw your chance of truly winning a national championship? And I think it got so out of hand to the point where as they threatened him with so much money, he had no other choice.
Oh, my God.
And I get it. Get your money. We don't live forever, but you will live to coach another team. And the way that Ole Miss runs their stuff down there, they're going to do everything they can to keep you happy. So I personally would have wanted my coach to turn that shit down. Bro, I coach, we got something special going on. But I left New Jersey in 2006 to move back to North Carolina. I was coaching the girls' AAU basketball team. I promised those girls that I would not stop coaching them until they graduated from high school. We won a national championship that year. I would pay my own money to go back and forth on the plane to make sure that they were okay.
Wow.
So I'm attached to my commitment. So that commitment to everyone that I made a promise to, hey, we can win a national championship. Now, as a coach, I got to say to you guys, no, y'all can win a national championship because there's no more we. And for me, I can't see myself dedicating that much time and that much effort to putting a winning program together to a point where I bitch out for a little bit of money. Because all money ain't good. All money ain't good money.
I learned that the hard way. All money ain't good money.
No, all money ain't good money.
Go ahead. You good. Go ahead.
And just now you just got a trust issue. Because now everybody that rolls up in there now going to say, hey, look, you just recruited the best college football team in the country. And you got a chance to win a national championship, and you sold them out for $1, and you want me to come here now? And you want me to trust you?
Woo!
Nobody's talking about that. Now you got to go out and recruit. So this is what I did. Yeah, I saw everything your ass did, and you sold your soul to the devil for $1. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and it's not the first time Lane has done that in his career. Right. And I've already given my 2 cents on it, but as the more I read and do more research on this, it goes. Only thing I can think of is what he's getting or getting ready to get at LSU. He would probably have never got at Ole Miss.
Right.
I do understand the location of where Ole Miss is in Mississippi. May not be the greatest attraction places for a recruit to come, but his track record at Ole Miss the last 7 years, he's pretty much had to rebuild and restore his identity because we do know him leaving, USC, getting fired. He left Tennessee in the middle of the night, and then he failed at Oakland as the youngest head coach in the league at that particular time. He got fired before the national championship game before the SEC championship game under Nick Saban. So he's done great as a coordinator. My only argument to that is, as you said, this wasn't going nowhere. These same conversations, these same negotiations that took place, the same talking about your X's and O's of what your contract's going to look like, all that's a distraction to the players that have committed their lives, that's committed the grind to putting Ole Miss on the map, being a top 25 team, more importantly, be a top 5 team in the country,
right? Being
11-1, finish the mission, finish the story. If you guys don't win a national championship, okay, cool. But those players in that locker room, and more importantly, the coaches, they deserve that commitment of excellence to ride this train out. And then, hey, after the season, me and LSU, we can have the conversation of what works, what might not work. But the fact that he was able to do that, to cause all this distraction, to cause the media to be all in this, to have discussions of where he's going to go, and then for him to come out during his press conference and say, well, I don't know. I told my agent, Jimmy Sexton, I don't want to know about the money. Your contract was already out on social media platform before you even put the pen to paper.
Absolutely.
So you want to be now you're the number 2 or number 3, I believe number 2, highest paid coach in the country at $13.2 a year. If he wins the national championship with LSU, he'll be paid the highest paid college football coach in the country. It's more pressure on him now than ever because you have to win. And you're coming into a school who's still paying their last 2 coaches, Ed Orgeron and Brian Kelly, on payroll. And you have to win. And if you don't win at LSU, year 1 or year 2, it will hurt his legacy. It will be a disaster.
But what is his legacy?
Disaster.
What is his legacy?
That's a good question.
That's my whole thing. So you look at Ole Miss right now. And you look at the legacy of and all the great quarterbacks that they've had to come out of there. And now you got a chance to add to that particular legacy.
Yep.
So all those guys in that locker room at Ole Miss is looking at Tulane like, he done pissed us off. We about to prove a point to him, and we gonna win this thing.
Yeah.
For us. And so Tulane has a whole nother demon to deal with. It's not all the talent they got over there. Now you got assholes looking at you.
Woo! Part right there.
They're like, you know what? I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. I sent my list out. Santa left my house. He went to somebody else and skipped
my house.
Skip.
He ain't even stopped in. He ain't even looked to see if the cookies and milk was on the desk. He's like, man, we gonna skip 313. We gonna go down to 315, 317.
We going to 317. That's what we gonna do, man. We skip. And for a football player, because I played football in high school as well. My coach was everything to me.
But Lane's not that guy.
My point exactly. But he just did what we call reverse motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And if they lose, he's an asshole. And if they win, he's still an asshole. And that's one thing you can't get rid of is when you're an asshole, you'll always be an asshole. And there's nothing that you can change. Because once they get that inside him, so everyone else that's going to be evaluating him from this point forward is going to be like, okay, how long are we going to be able to keep him?
Yeah.
It's like a broke down car.
Yeah, and at LSU, they put out a lot of incentives with his contract. He's getting over $25 million a year just alone in NIL. Right. He's giving his recruits, they'll be flying first class. They'll have their own car service. I mean, they're rolling out the red carpet for Lane. But more importantly, what bothers me most with all this, John, is the fact that, Lane Kiffin said, all right, I'm taking this job, but for any coach who doesn't want to come with me and get on this plane today with me will not have a job with me when I take the LSU job. So you could imagine, I know his offensive coordinator was one of them who was getting ready to come back to coach Ole Miss as the offensive coordinator. But the fact that say, hey, John, I'm taking this job, and if you don't come with me right now today, you won't have a job with me in the future, ever.
Yeah, well, someone made that threat to me one day. If you don't take this deal, then you can forget about it. And it was Larry Bird when I had Chris Copeland, who was playing with the Knicks back in the day, and Chris torched everybody. He said, don't go shopping my deal. You got 24 hours. Chris made the decision to go to Indiana, not because of what Larry said. He made a decision because it was the best opportunity for him. But if I had it my way, if it was my decision to make, I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Wow.
I mean, it's that simple because, you're not going to threaten me. And my legacy is not dependent upon what you do. It's what I do. And that's what Lane does not understand. His legacy is torched now, but those kids have a chance to do something really special. And I'm rooting for them. I mean,
me too.
I know a part of your segment goes on to who do we think they got a real chance of winning?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to segue in there for you. I apologize.
You're good.
But I love Georgia.
I like them too. I love the Dogs.
They got a different level of heart, man.
Yeah.
They love each other. You can see that intensity that they play for each other. And that's the difference between Georgia, Indiana, and Ole Miss.
So how far do you see Indiana going?
Let me look at this chart real fast. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I don't know if we have one in the deck, Chris. I don't think so.
Who's in their way?
So if I'm playing devil's advocate, well, not devil's advocate. If I pull up the bracket, I have it on my phone.
Georgia gonna have a tough time with Ohio State.
Oh, I like the Dogs over them.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But they're gonna have a tough time. They're absolutely gonna have a tough time because Ohio State can't really move the football.
We saw that against Indiana.
Oh, no question. Oh, my gosh. It was like, talking about toilet paper, man. Anytime somebody put water on, they got ripped.
There we go. Here's the 12-team bracket we got. And we see Ohio State gets the winner of Texas A&M and Miami, and then Georgia gets the winner of Ole Miss and Tulane. Regardless of the fact we will see Georgia versus Ohio State in the semifinal. And I know that Georgia will advance to the national championship. And if there's anything that Ohio State exposed against Indiana, it's what happens when you take Jeremiah Smith out the game and how much Ohio State's offense can move the football. We do know Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in the country, but I love the defensive game plan that Coach Kurt Signetti came up with against Ohio State. And he said, look, you can beat me in any other phase in the game, but you will not beat me with number 4 at Jeremiah Smith. Not at all.
Not at all. They had that dude in the crosshairs the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he was a deer.
Yeah.
He got mistaken for a reindeer and got shot down. But I tell you what, though, if I can't see Oklahoma or Alabama beating Indiana. I just can't.
Really? Me either.
I
don't know, because when we seen SEC schools go against Big Ten schools in the past, if you don't have that physicality with the front four, if you can't control a line of scrimmage against a SEC team, you're in trouble. I mean, I remember a few years ago. I know we're in a different game now in terms of college football NIL, when Georgia played Michigan and they beat the brakes off us. Man, they just dominated us in all phases of the game. And Indiana, man, they have what it takes to get to the semifinal. I do look forward to seeing Indiana versus Oregon. I do believe, no credit, no disrespect to Texas Tech. They've had a tremendous year. I do believe Texas Tech can potentially pull off an upset over Oregon. That I do believe in my heart.
Right.
But let's just play the perfect play out game. Give me your walkthrough from all first round games, quarterfinal, semifinal, national champion, and then your winner.
Okay. Obviously Oregon and Texas Tech.
Okay.
I'm taking Texas Tech to advance.
Okay.
And I'm saying that Alabama is going to have a really, really, really hard time beating Oklahoma, but I'm going to give Alabama the nod. Then they got to go up against Indiana. And with CJ West, Carpenter, I mean, those two guys, they have literally set the tone for the Hoosiers. They've set the tone for that. You're talking about that front four. Mm-hmm. Alabama is already having a problem with Oklahoma.
Agreed.
With their front four. But I'm giving Alabama the nod. But Indiana's on a mission. Yep. So I'm taking Indiana.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a walkover, whoever comes out of that bracket between Texas Tech and Oregon. Georgia, they're going to ride it all the way to the national championship game with ease. It doesn't even matter who wins. It doesn't even matter. A&M will be playing Ohio State.
Yes.
It's a wrap. And, the Green Wave.
We have your semifinal picks. You have Texas Tech in the semifinal versus Indiana, and then you have Georgia and Ohio State semifinal, who advanced to the national championship.
Georgia, Indiana
in the final, and who you got cutting down nets? Cutting down the net. I'm ready for college basketball.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a nice little basketball story.
Okay.
My idol coming out of high school was Dominique Wilkins. I saw him jump off the free throw line on a missed dunk and just tear it down over the University of North Carolina. And I said to myself, wow, that Georgia boy can play. And then my brother said he's not from Georgia. He's from Washington, North Carolina, 15 minutes, 20 minutes from here. And he said, your basketball coach in high school and his basketball coach are best friends. So stop it. You got to pull for the Georgia boy. Fine. Did that. Indiana, went to the Pan Am Trials in 1987, met a guy named Keith Smart. Keith was one of the highest jumping guys I ever seen in my life. Keith hit the winning shot for Indiana in 1987. They went to Steve Alford and gave him all the glory, but it was Keith Smart who did all the work. I'm going up for a rebound in the Pan Am Trials in 87. I got all this over the rim. I see this ball in my hand, about to dunk it back in. And this little short dude jumps over my back. He's literally over my head like this. And he takes the ball and goes, boom, throws it in the rim. Different level. They both came with different levels of intensity. And that's what I think is going to be the difference in who brings the intensity into that football game in the championship game. I pray that it's Indiana and Georgia because I think it's great for television. I think that it would be great for someone outside the SEC other than Ohio State to make some noise in college football. And as much as I love them Georgia Dogs, as much as I love them, I'm going to give the nod to the Heisman Trophy winner.
He's taking Indiana to win it all. I'll be damned. I'm going
to give it to the Heisman Trophy. And not because I want him to win. I just think that the game comes down to the manipulation of, the offensive line. Who can manipulate the offensive line the best? And I just think they got the best front four in college football right now.
Man, what Curt Cignetti does strategically from a game plan perspective, man, he can dial it up better than anybody. And I'm happy he's got Indiana in year 2. back in relevancy for the first time in a long time. I mean, they just won the Big Ten title for the first time since 1986. So the fact that Kirk Cignetti has came in there and pretty much revamped the program his way is exciting to see. And I do want to see Georgia versus Indiana. I do know that our producer, Chris, is a big Ohio State fan. He already gave me a bunch of crap when they beat Michigan. We do know why we lost. Our coach is focused on something else other than focus on.
Oh, you're an Ohio State fan?
No, I'm a Michigan fan. Chris, our producer, is an Ohio State fan. And he was joking with me with the whole Sharon Moore thing. He was like, we know why Michigan lost at home against Ohio State. He had other things on his mind. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm not mad at your pick, Indiana. I just want a good college football playoff. Anybody to win but Ohio State, of course. I'm a Michigan fan. Why would I root for them? So it'll be interesting, and we look forward to seeing the college football playoff. First round kickoff this Friday, December 19th, with the 4 games listed below. And all good luck to those teams except Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss.
I have to say one thing.
Sure.
Now, here's the caveat. If Gunnar Stockton, if Coach lets him go, if he gives him the ability to call a couple of plays without going into a huddle, just to throw off the rhythm of that front four, then we got a problem.
Oh, no huddle. Absolutely. That would be the plan, I would hope. Kirby Smart knows what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
So if he gets the opportunity to just go out there and run off 4, 5, 6 quick hitters and just fatigue them out mentally, because physically Indiana's in shape. You're not worried about Indiana.
Top shape.
Yeah, they're in shape. But do they have this? And the difference between the Dogs and them Hoosiers is Georgia's been there. They have legacy.
Experience matters.
They've gone from being Saint Nick to Santa Claus. They done been it all. They've been going from the knicker, the socks that come all the way up to they look now they got Timberlands on their boat.
And look, Indiana's one of those reindeer. They finally get off the ground. They finally flying.
And honestly, I could care less who wins the game. Like I said, I love both teams right now, what they're doing. I just like the fairy tale story, with the quarterback winning the Heisman, go out, win the national, and make it all nice and pretty. Tie it up in a bow, put it in the packet, send it off FedEx. Make sure your girl get what she. That's what I'd really like to see. Honestly, Georgia's too fucking good.
No Dogs, baby. That's including beating Ohio State in the semifinal. You heard it here first. John Spencer, Monty Moss have given our prediction. Georgia will beat Ohio State in the semifinal. Write it down and underline it twice. Chris, I love you, but I don't love you. Go Dogs, baby. College football playoff begins this Friday. Look forward to seeing what that journey of teams and evolution unfolds to be. Let's change gears. Let's pivot. Let's go to the NFL, breaking down Week 15 and also giving our Week 16 preview. And last week, Brian and myself, we were set up for failure, folks. Set up for failure because we both took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win at home against the Atlanta Falcons, and Bijan Robinson and Kirk Cousins had other intentions and other plans, including Kyle Pitts, who had 3 receiving touchdowns that game. What a great offensive display we saw. And if it was one game that I knew that at least Baker Mayfield would show up, he did. It would be one game with Mike Evans returning back from being out for the last 10 weeks. He showed up, have over 150 yards receiving. I took him with I took him with the prop bets for Monty's locks of the week. And I had all the confidence that Tampa Bay losing the last 3 games, being at 7-6, the NFC South being on the line, I couldn't afford to lose, but playing devil's advocate is also a blessing in disguise. That thank God the NFC South is a mess with Atlanta and Carolina in it, that it wouldn't even matter. And they lost 29-28, and it was a good offensive display. I mean, Kirk Cousins, 373 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, his best game he's had this year, 166 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, 93 yards rushing. And then when I look at Tampa Bay, John, Outside of Mike Evans, they couldn't get anything going from a receiving point. Baker Mayfield threw an interception. Atlanta's defense 5 sacks on the game, and I was set up, man. I was at 9-5. I was looking forward to going to 10-5 on Thursday Football Locks this year. I fell to 9-6, and I told myself after that game, I will never lose a Thursday night football game for the rest of the year. I'm committed to doing that. Your thoughts from Atlanta's win and a pretty much gutless win over the Tampa Bay Bucks?
Well, I will say this. There's this thing called pride.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that Tampa has ever played with any pride at all. I think they play with ego. I think Baker Mayfield is probably one of the best talents in football when it comes down to quarterbacking. He has a huge ego. He doesn't have any pride. He doesn't have any pride. He doesn't look down his line and say, I don't want to let these guys down. He looks down that line and he says, they better not let me down.
Ooh.
That's the difference. That's a different story. You look at Tom Brady when he went down there and he stepped up and he was like, yo, guys, I got you on my back. Baker does not do that. Now, here's the funny thing about it. I used to be a Redskin fan until they became the Washington Football Club. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I had 25 years of purgatory. God said, son, if you bet another dollar on the Redskins, I'm giving you a heart attack. So I stopped rooting for the Redskins, stopped rooting for whatever. But Kirk Cousins was that quarterback that we let go. And everywhere he went, he has been very successful. And games financially. Yes, he's been very successful. And every game of importance to knock somebody else out of contention, he's been able to do. Just think about it now. In Minnesota, he went to town. He got nothing for it. Minnesota had nothing to show for it.
And a payday, another payday.
And another, but he always gives you one game.
Yeah.
That makes you go, I'm gonna keep myself relevant. And I think the game came down to relevance. And Baker Mayfield just took him lightly. And I feel sorry for Tampa Bay because they got the sexiest uniforms on the planet. There ain't but one person that's got a better uniform than Tampa Bay, and that's what you got on tonight. And I'm telling you. and you know what? You can't analyze that game because there's just so many things that go on at this time of year. Do I really want to go to the playoffs? Do I really want to go home? Is it really worth it? Do we really got a chance to win? All that goes into the psyche of a player. Injuries are happening, and players are tired. And so either you really want to win or you don't. And those who win are the ones who fight like the dogs. And there's nowhere in the world Tampa Bay showed any type of effort where they just wanted to just knock those guys. There's just I didn't see any effort.
Yeah, no effort, especially defensively. I mean, Atlanta's coming into this game at 4-7. They don't have 3-7. Sorry, they have nothing to play for at this particular point. We do know Coach Raheem Morris is trying to do the best he can with that organization, being, given the keys to be the head coach, black head coach, also in the NFL. But for Tampa Bay, for defensively, what they allowed to happen offensively for Atlanta, allowing Kirk Cousins to be comfortable in the pocket, allowing Kyle Pitts to get open. This is a Kyle Pitts that I've been waiting to see coming out of Florida in the NFL to pretty much be that number one guy for either Michael Penix or Kirk Cousins. So Atlanta, congratulations, but damn it, I'm upset you guys did it this week. I mean, you could have won next week and I'd have been great. But Tampa Bay, they're still first in the division at 7-7. They got to turn some things around down that organization, turn around fast if they want to make any relevancy and making a push in the playoffs. So we shall see with that. Another game I want to talk to you about, John, and get your opinion on is the Browns going into a negative 20-degree Chicago Bears stadium and losing 31-3. Shedeur Sanders, this one, throwing 3 interceptions, wasn't impressive at all, 18-35. Offensively, I'm going to make an advocate here that the Browns should and must release Jerry Jeudy after this season because what he did offensively against Chicago was just horrible, only having 22 yards receiving. And more importantly, John, we do know the whole transaction of things that have been taking place behind the scenes with Kevin Stefanski and quarterback Shedeur Sanders. But the fact that we had Shedeur have the wrong wristband on with the play call sheets, the wrong one, and for Kevin Stefanski to come out in his post-game press conference and give the most lousiest, horrible answer to the reporter's question, I just have a problem. If it's not one thing, it's another between how are we going to allow or what are we going to do to put things in place to see Shedeur fail this week? That's sort of my question I ask myself every week. And it's just, I didn't have, Cleveland to win this game anyway at all, because right now, the way Ben Johnson in year one and what the Chicago Bears offense is doing with Caleb Williams adjusting to Ben Johnson's offense, DeAndre Swift being the running back that we saw in years past in Detroit and also in Philadelphia, I just knew the Bears would win. I just didn't expect Shedeur Sanders and his offense to play like this and what we saw on Sunday. Now, we do know this is Shedeur's pretty much first true road game in terms of temperature, because not a lot of quarterbacks can go into negative 20 degrees and put up some points. So I'm not disappointed in the loss. I'm just disappointed in the effort that Kevin Stefanski put out in terms of offensive game plan for Shedeur Sanders to go out there and be successful, and they weren't.
So how can you be disappointed in the effort if there were none? I mean, he put no effort into making Shedeur Sanders a quality quarterback.
At all.
So you look at what they've poured into Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, just any top tier quarterback that's playing in the NFL right now. They want to win games. Stefanski doesn't want to win. He doesn't want to win.
Do you think he'll have a job next year with the Browns?
I don't. There's no way in the world they should keep him. I think it's been so divisive in the locker room. And the mere fact that you can't take your leader on the field for that particular moment in time for 60 minutes and give him everything that he needs to be successful. Not only are you putting the loss in jeopardy, you're putting him in jeopardy. You're challenging his physical ability to sustain or to play without sustaining an injury. You're harming your receivers who are running downfield, who are expecting certain things to happen through the game plan, and he doesn't have the right information on his left wrist.
Woo!
So you're sending guys out as lame ducks. They're going out with no protection because they don't know what the hell is really going on. So whose fault is that? Is it Shedeur's fault that he's got the wrong wristband? Because he's not sitting there writing stuff on it every day. It's the offensive coordinators. There is a check that goes in place, a quality control check that goes in place for every game. You do it before you do your podcast, right?
Correct.
So you want to make sure things are working.
Correct.
Stefanski knows exactly what he's doing. He does not want that smoke.
No, he don't want that.
So I think Shedeur stays. I think they have no other choice but to give him a chance to go through an off season to get better. Because I think you don't invest in somebody like that and give him the starting quarterback position for the rest of the season, and then kind of chuck him to the wayside.
Okay.
Cleveland, on the other hand, they just got a losing culture. And you can, like I said, you can break down whatever it is you like until they find their LeBron James in football. But you got to remember, LeBron James couldn't do it. He can get him to the playoffs. He couldn't help him win. So they had to go get Kevin Love and everybody else.
Don't get me started.
So I'm just saying, I love Cleveland football. Because of what Jim Brown did for the Browns.
Yes.
And it gave a hard-working community something to root and cheer for. And you talking about playing in cold weather and all this other stuff. I mean, these guys did it with little or nothing. And our guys got it. And you got one guy trying to sabotage it?
Yep.
I'd walk into the locker room.
Why.
Tell me why. Please tell me why. Tell me why.
I don't want to go down. I've explained it. Here's a question that I think Cleveland has to answer. You have Deshaun Watson, who you invested over $200 million guaranteed money into as your quarterback. Hasn't worked out, recovering from an injury. He's expected to be full go, recover, and ready to play football next year. Do you play and do you keep Shedeur and move on from Deshaun and try to move that money? But who wants Deshaun? I mean, let's face it. Or do you just pretty much say, you know what? we drafted Shedeur. It hasn't worked out. Do we move him somewhere else? Because you can't convince me out of all the quarterbacks in this year's draft that Shedeur is a 7th-rounder. You just can't convince me. But we know the politics behind it. What I will say is this, John. We do know that Kevin Stefanski's agent is Jimmy Sexton, who's a very powerful agent and mostly in the college football world, having 12 of the 14 Power 5 head coaches under his wing. But more importantly, we know how the coaches tree work, right? We do know that even Kevin Stefanski is friends with Oregon's Coach Manning, who Coach Manning, Oregon played Colorado when Shedeur was there. A lot of things were said. Coach Manning used, Deion's words as motivation for his team, came out in the press conference that wasn't personal. We know it was personal. Fast forward, we even know that Kevin Stefanski's father-in-law is the same coach who was a manager when Deion was playing for the Atlanta Braves, gave Deion hell in Atlanta. So everyone looks at it from the football side. No, let's look at it from behind the scenes side.
Absolutely.
And the moment that Kevin Stefanski's cards were shown and the moment that Kevin Stefanski was put in a position of holy shit moment is when them tables turned and Dillon Gabriel went down with a concussion against Baltimore and inserted Shedeur Sanders on the road. And the fact that Shedeur, being the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart, had 0 first-team reps. How is that possible? When every other second depth quarterback in the NFL gets what? First reps in practice with the first team. So now the cards are being shown. Well, why is Shedeur having first-team reps with the team? Dillon Gabriel has been starter, but now he's out. Then he only gets 3 days. If you remember, he gets 3 days because Cleveland has a Thursday night football game. He only gets 3 days to practice with the team against Oakland. That turned out to be a disaster. It worked out because he played offensively decent. But then the following week, he gets his first full week at quarterback with the first team. So do Kevin Stefanski really want Shedeur to win? Are Cleveland and that organization putting Shedeur in a position to win as their first tier quarterback? And then the fun fact of it is Cleveland finally gets Deion in the suite. Finally in the suite with the owners. Shedeur wins that game. After the game, Cleveland's owner is post-game and outside in the parking lot saying, is there anything that we can do for you? Because the cameras are showing it. That's the only reason why he asked it. So I can dive deep with this, John, but it really bothers me because if you didn't want him, why draft him? Why put him through all this nonsense? But one thing I would commend is how Shedeur has handled this professionally with his interviews, because he knows these reporters are going to ask these crazy wild questions to get him to say something that's going to stir things up in the media. His confidence, his belief in himself from a talent perspective, but more importantly, his faith in God. He's been put through everything and anything that you can throw at him from an organization standpoint, from a player standpoint, and then the fact that you don't even get along or your head coach doesn't even like you. Why should I play for you? He's handled it with class.
I'm going to say this. I want you to take the history of the Stefanski family.
Okay.
And you talked about the Braves.
Yes, sir.
But you forgot his grandfather, or not his grandfather. What's the relationship? Is it his uncle? Something. He's a New Jersey cat from Avalon. Ed Stefanski, Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, Detroit Pistons. I mean, this guy was notorious for messing up rosters at an NBA level. So look at Philly and Toronto. After Stefanski left, they got better. It's a problem. You know, we have a problem with young black men being popular, famous. We can't be who we really are because we have to kowtow to what their standard is. And I'll say it because I could give a flying Philly about what people think. But at some particular point in time, the game is not about the coach. It's not about the executives. It's about those people who are watching those kids on the field risk their lives. And what I love about that kid, and I call him a kid because he's still a young fella, I'm almost 60 years old. That man has shown absolutely nothing but grace.
Yes.
Look, you can't shake my rock, brother. You can't. My spirit.
Everything you throw at me, I'm still standing strong.
I'm on this rock, bro. When I'm on this rock, I know who my daddy is. I know who my mother is. I know who my savior is. He was like, yo, it ain't you. And whatever you do, it can't harm me. Let me give my whole NFL salary for this year to some people who need it more. Need it more than me. Let me just give it away. You know what? I got my cup runneth over. Let me go out and share it. I don't want to waste it, because what we stand on and what we've always done as a people is that we've always been able to overcome and excel. And I'm not talking about black, white. I'm talking about people that they presume to be less than deserving. Because blacks and whites back in the day, the poor blacks and whites were like this. The rich and powerful was losing. And the only way that they can sustain whatever was to try to cause division. Right. And what you're seeing around Shedeur Sanders right now is a lot of people galvanizing around him saying, hey, brother, I'm with you, black and white alike. So with that one asshole, that one asshole,
that one
is that one that people are going to look at like, aren't you that guy who gave that dude a hard time and he wound up being this guy instead of the guy you wanted him to be? That's what I really like about sports, because nobody can make or break you if you're strong. That man is beyond strong. He's beyond. He got something different. That's why he's going to be okay.
He's going to be just fine. And I can't wait to see Cleveland moves on from Stefanski and bring in a head coach, more importantly, that can give Shedeur everything on and off the field to be a better man, but more importantly, be a true leader of what the Cleveland Browns need as an organization. They haven't had a true leader.
You just said it, a true leader. Johnny Manziel?
Nope.
You bring in Johnny, you bring in Deshaun with all the crap he's already been through down in Houston.
Right. Yep.
So you no disrespect to any of those guys, because they're quality people and they're quality quarterbacks, but they weren't quality leaders. And I think Shedeur Sanders is absolutely that.
Yeah, he is that, and the Cleveland Browns have some things they need to figure out, not only from a head coaching perspective, but from the quarterback perspective, as Shedeur is named the starter for the rest of the year. But we'll see what how he finishes this year out, because there'll be a lot of question marks on what's next for the Cleveland Browns heading to the offseason. One team in particular, John, I know that has a lot of question marks after the offseason. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, and I took them last week to win this Sunday at home against the Baltimore Ravens, but they did not win. They lost 24-0 at home. Ravens coming in with a must-needed win, because we do know that Pittsburgh it has a Monday night game, or just finished a Monday night game against the Miami Dolphins. But 24-0 was your final. Lamar Jackson and co. knew what they had to do in order to keep their season alive. Derrick Henry having over 100 yards rushing. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdowns, did throw 1 interception. Zay Flowers leading the team in receiving yards, as he does for the last few weeks for Baltimore. Finished with 3 receptions, 68 yards. But more important, when I look at this game, John, and I look at the Bengals, because I picked the Bengals, I look at the Bengals and I go, Zach Taylor is fighting for his job. Joe Burrow threw the ball 39 times. Jamar Chase had a pretty good game receiving with over 132 receiving yards. But the fact that I don't see the same arrogance from Joe Burrow, I don't see the same confidence from Joe Burrow, I don't see that swagger from Joe Burrow. And I know he's having some off-the-field issues that he's been vocally, expressed to the media in terms of just challenges he's gone through in his young career and his young life. The Bengals owe it to Joe Burrow to give him the tools of what it takes to win, because they went out. Joe Burrow was an advocate. He said, hey, we need Jamar Chase signed. They signed him. He said, hey, we need T. Higgins signed. They signed him. But what they failed to do was give Joe Burrow a defense also, because the last 2 years, and I can give it to you statistically, the Bengals have had a pretty much horrible defense in all phases of the game, and they've given up the most points from any NFL team in the last 2 years than what I've seen in the last 5. So the Ravens stay alive. They need Pittsburgh to lose. They need some luck along the way. But I look forward to seeing what Baltimore does to finish this year out. What is something that you would like to see from the Ravens to finish this year out? Because right now they're at 7-7, tied for first in the AFC South.
Well, first of all, I like to say what Cincinnati did.
NFC North, sorry.
No, what Cincinnati did in the very beginning is that they got the Ravens off the field like that.
Yep.
So I thought it was going to be a whole different ball game coming that particular way. So I thought Cincinnati started off with executing their game plan, but with Baltimore, they fought back. They understood what the moment was all about. Cincinnati, what are they, 4-10 now?
4-10, and they beat Baltimore on Thanksgiving.
Right, the 27th.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you take a look at the Ravens and you take a look at Lamar, and you look at the money that he's gotten for this year and for years to come. He has generational wealth because of football, kind of like Kirk Cousins, except that he's been in one place for a long time now.
Yes.
And he's not been able to win at the level that he needs to go out and win. I think he has a bigger chip on his shoulder. I think injuries have harmed him significantly.
Yes.
And I think that slows him down. But I think that with the Ravens being the group that they are, I think they're going to have a good playoff stand going into the playoffs. If indeed they get out of the first round, I think you'll see them in the championship game. I think they have that. I think they got that kind of heart. And you don't get to be Lamar Sanders without having heart. I mean, Lamar Jackson without having heart. And he's just a different guy. And I think the struggles that he's actually endured over the past several seasons, trying to get to the championship and showing everybody that he's better than the Bills and better than everybody, to be honest with you, better than Mahomes. And he's just in that mind space. And with Mahomes going down now, that's one problem out of the way. So I think their road to the championship game could be really, really interesting. And I think they got the firepower to do it. Talking about a running game, they got two running games. They got Henry, they got him. They can pass fucking football as well at the same time. So I like Baltimore. I like what they bring to the table.
You know what, John? I as I sit here and say this, because I realize the Ravens' last 3 games of the season, I may get crucified for this, but I do believe the end is near for the Ravens this year. I do believe John Harbaugh could be considered to be on the hot seat because he has allowed this foundation to crack. And Baltimore had a pretty good, well-established foundation. And I have never seen in a John Harbaugh era for the Ravens a John Harbaugh defense be this bad. The last 3 games the Ravens have, John, is at home versus the Patriots,
right? Mm-hmm.
The Packers, and then finishing with the Steelers. Now, if we're going to compare their division rival, the Steelers, their last 3 is Lions, Browns, and then Ravens. Now, if there's any quarterback I trust between Lamar or Aaron Rodgers to pretty much get them to where they need to be, and that's the playoffs, from a schedule perspective, I will lean towards the Steelers. The Packers are tough.
Where's my gun?
Hey, look, shoot me now. Hey, look, all Ravens fans going to shoot me now.
Look.
So you mean to tell me you have confidence in the Ravens to beat the Patriots at home, to then play the Packers and win, and then to finish the season off against the Steelers?
I don't think that
you got to win out.
I don't think that the Packers is the only team that brings me concern.
The Patriots don't?
No.
Oh,
I know you're a Patriots fan.
Oh, man.
I know you are.
Oh,
but you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, and I love the Patriots.
Woo!
I absolutely love the Patriots.
Okay.
But, Lamar's been there. We talked about Georgia.
Correct.
Lamar's been there. And he's had a taste. Well, he's had an appetizer.
There you go.
He had an appetizer.
There you go.
He had a chance to wash it down. He got to dinner, got choked.
Couldn't even get a sip of his water.
No, he just got choked. New England's good. Matter of fact,
we are.
This is a really, really good team. But I'm going to go back to that one thing called culture and being there before. Who do you have Let me make sure I'm not tripping out, because
Culture.
who, from a cultural standpoint, who's in their locker room is going to get them to the next level of understanding.
Mike Vrabel.
No. You got to have somebody else, bro.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh is nice. So let me tell you who I think really needs to step up.
For who? Baltimore? Like, we talking about the Baltimore Ravens.
No,
I mean,
but so my thing is that is Diggs going to be a person?
He's been that guy all year for us.
Is he going to be that guy on in clutch? He's never been that clutch. So if Baltimore and New England go head to head right now,
this Sunday in Baltimore, Sunday night. Yes, you're going to see prime time what Drake May's going to do. That's all I'm going to say.
I like Drake May, though. I do
too. MVP.
I can't. Look, I love Drake May.
I do too, man. Look, what I mean by this, John, is no disrespect to Baltimore. I think right now, Baltimore, they came out after the bye, winning the first 5 after the bye. Perfect. Laid an egg against Cincinnati. That wasn't supposed to happen. You had Joe Burrow come into Baltimore and light you up in stunning fashion. The Patriots right now, they're facing a little bit of adversity. They had an opportunity Sunday to beat Buffalo, to clinch the division, and we needed Denver to lose to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. That didn't happen. Denver took care of Green Bay. But more importantly, this is the first time that New England, they're facing a little bit of adversity. They were on a 10-game win streak before the bye. One of the first team actually in the NFL to win 11 games. Everyone's like, well, they haven't played nobody, strength of schedule. I mean, blah, 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 blah. But when New England was losing last 3 seasons, only finished with 4 wins, everybody was all proud and dandy for the teams they were losing to. So it'll be another good test against Baltimore on the road, Sunday Night Football. I look forward to it.
I will say this: Baltimore defense is just as good, if not better, than Buffalo's, and I think so. And you guys just struggled mightily against Buffalo's defense. Y'all collapsed.
Our defense couldn't get Buffalo off the field. 5 straight touchdown possessions in the second half. There you go. We're up 21-0 to start. Second quarter, Josh Allen, they scored a touchdown for the half, 21-7. And then the second half, Buffalo just went touchdown. I mean, but we've seen this. We have seen this from Buffalo when they put up 44 points at home a few weeks ago against who?
Yeah, but you guys got some major weaknesses against the run. Who's the running back for Baltimore?
Who in the league can stop Derrick Henry? So
I'm saying, just think about this. Your second half collapse. How much y'all give up?
35-31.
But what'd you do in the second half? What'd you give up in the second half?
We gave up 28 points.
Because you couldn't tackle.
Or stop Josh Allen.
You couldn't tackle.
Or get off the field on third down.
You couldn't tackle. So if you
come on, man, don't rub it in my face. Come on, man.
If that running game from Baltimore go downhill.
Look,
that's all I got to say. This is what I'm saying about Baltimore.
And Buffalo has a running back in James Cook who we couldn't tackle.
James Cook, that dude.
Damn right.
So when you got running backs, so what the Steelers don't have, they ain't got no real running game.
No, they don't. They don't have a solid offensive line. Look,
no. So when you got Baltimore's defense and you got a broke left hand, and if you hit that dude hard a couple times and he's 41 years old and it's cold,
yeah.
So my thing is like I just think Baltimore's a little bit younger.
They are
a little bit more talented. And I think that they're hungry. I don't think I'm watching the game right now, the Pittsburgh game right now. They're playing good football right now, but they're playing Miami.
Of course, they suck. But that's the same Miami team that beat Buffalo.
And it's the same Miami team that does not like to play in the cold.
And they sure don't. My preview for this Sunday night's game is can New England stop the run? How can they limit Zay Flowers? Because Zay Flowers is there as Lamar's number one go-to. I know Mark Andrews is injured. But it'll be interesting. I think I'm not being biased here. I think if New England wants to get things over with and take care of business, they need to win. Baltimore has to win their last 3 games regardless. It's win out regardless. So even if they lose to the Patriots, but the flip side to it is Pittsburgh is inconsistent. So let's just say this: Baltimore could lose to New England Sunday night. Pittsburgh could lose to Detroit. Baltimore can beat Green Bay. Pittsburgh can beat the Browns. And it'll come down to the last game of the year between those two. Winner gets in, winner wins the division. It could come down just like that. I can see that scenario. But
so let me say this. Let me just do a 180 real quick.
Sure.
You know what? I'd really love to see New England win it. I've always liked New England way before everybody else did. I was a Redskin fan. I would tolerate the Miami Dolphins because they had Larry Zonka. But we had this thing called this football set that when they had these little men on it, that when the power gave out, you had to tap the board so they'll move across. New England always had the best uniforms than anybody on the planet. Fell in love with her back when I was a kid with a little football. Look, I like New England, man. I really, really, really would love to see the legacy of New England stay the same. I do too. I like that legacy. I love legacy.
And I love Drake May, year 2. Let it ride.
Belichick, he lived next door to us in New Jersey. And he was a really, really good dude, smart dude, weird dude, but smart dude. And he just set a good tone in New England. I just want to see that kind of stay the same because they really do have a historic franchise.
They do. If no one else, I believe in more in New England, besides the front office of Robert Kraft, was a really great owner, is Mike Vrabel. And I look forward to seeing that. John, let's talk about a franchise that pretty much their dynasty is officially over, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs losing at home in a must-win game to keep their playoff hopes alive. They lost to Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert in the Los Angeles Chargers 16-13, but more importantly, the sad news of Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL in that game. He will be out next season, and it's officially safe to say that the Chiefs dynasty is a wrap. Now, we do know that the Chiefs will have a lot of question marks going into next year who will be the starting quarterback. But more importantly, Patrick Mahomes sort of having the same trajectory career of Tom Brady, and that's entering year 8, tearing your ACL, then going into year 9, missing the entire season. Pat Mahomes will go into year 9 next year, and he will be out entirely with the torn ACL. What was your initial reaction and thoughts when you saw Patrick Mahomes go out with a torn ACL?
I immediately thought the exact same thing of his trajectory with Tom Brady. He'll probably come back better than ever. And I'll say, and the ACL tore because something was already wrong. You can see him struggling on the field. You can see him playing through pain. I think they got the worst offensive line on the planet. They've had it for the last couple of years.
They have.
And he's had to scramble so much. He's got so many people taking shots at him. And because he's such a good person, he never went back at people the same way they came at him. He always kept his head above water. And I just think that this gives him a chance to sit back and let his body recover, something that he probably needed.
Hasn't had a chance to do.
I feel sorry for Chief Nation, but I do believe this is a blessing in disguise, knowing Patrick Mahomes. And I had a chance to meet him on several occasions because my nephew Jaron played with the Chiefs as well. Classy guy. But I'm going to blame all this on Taylor Swift. I'm going to blame it all on Taylor. Has she not shown up? Man, look, let me tell you something. We'd have won last year. We'd won. Kelsey would have been that dude. He'd have been focused. 2 years ago. Come on, man. Come on, stop. Everything was
blaming
fine.
the Swifties?
Everything was fine until she came. So if I was him, I'd get rid of Kelsey and Taylor, let them go do what they do.
I think he may retire. I think he should retire. I
do too. But honestly, I mean, he's a hell of a fucking tight end. I mean,
he's not better than Gronk, though. I want to put all that to bed.
Nobody's better than Gronk. Gronk's all-time favorite right here.
I appreciate that.
I can't. No, that's not even a lie. I mean, that dude is just different. He's built different, mentally, physically, emotionally, and the thing that people don't realize about Gronk is that he's smart
as hell.
He understands how to beat you here. And that's what Patrick did not have. And the reason he's injured because he didn't have the most intelligent football players in front of him protecting him. I believe that in order to go out and have a great offensive line, you have to have geniuses on that line.
You have to.
You have to have geniuses, and I don't think they put geniuses in front of him. And I blame the front office for not doing that. Now, his injury is on the front office.
Yeah, they've tried to bootleg reconstruct the offensive line the last 2-3 years, and it hasn't just worked out to the plan, I'm sure, of what Andy Reid and the Chiefs wanted to put out to do, because there's no way. I mean, we look at the Tom Brady years, for example, he's always had one of the best offensive lines. It's even more ironic now that we talk about it that Tom Brady tore his ACL on the road in Kansas City against Kansas City in 2008. So it's just funny how things come full circle, and we worship Pat nothing but the best for the speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
And this gives him a chance to get his brain back to where it needs to be, and that's competing for a Super Bowl, get his body ready to compete for a Super Bowl. But by far, this would be the toughest challenge he's ever faced in his football career, and that's overcoming a torn ACL injury, because the rehab of that freaking sucks. And I know that from seeing all the behind-the-scenes stuff from Tom Brady. Let's talk about a team who also won't make the playoffs, and I'm really, really, really excited to hear your thoughts on. It's the Dallas Cowboys losing 34-26. Coming into this game, Dallas needed a win. They only had a 10% chance to make the playoffs. Now with them losing, John, they are down to 1% chance to make the playoffs. Do you think that this year is a disappointment for Dallas fans? And if so, what are some of the reasons why?
I did a podcast in my hometown with a couple of my high school teammates, Robbie Jones and Daryl Best, and one's a Cowboy fan, which is Daryl, which that dude, when I played football with Daryl in high school, dude was a monster. He should have been in the NFL. Robbie Jones, Pittsburgh fan. And we sat there and I just listened to these fools go back and forth about both of these teams. And, you know, they jumped on me about the Redskins. I said, I'm not buying the Skins. Just like I'm not buying the Cowboys and I'm not buying Pittsburgh. And I think it's a huge disappointment for Dallas, but that tone was set by Jerry. He set that tone. He got into contract negotiations with the player and decided to prolong that. And that was a distraction for the whole offseason leading into the season until the guy got traded. And now at the end of the day, everyone's saying, oh, wow, we wish I could have, should have. The Cowboys are going to be perpetual losers for the rest of their lives until they get rid of that. I'm just saying, and you know, being a true football fan, I have to say you gotta love the Cowboys in order to hate them, because with the Cowboys being good, it just raises the level and the exposure of football in general. So you want them to do well, and no disrespect to anybody. But I just think that it is a huge disappointment because they get sold these credit cards every year with this black color and these gold little lettering on it and says unlimited spending limits. And when they try to go use it, they realize it's not American Express, it's an EBT card. So every time the Dallas Cowboy goes there, I got my black card, I'm pulling out my black card, and you get to the counter at the grocery store, like, you can't buy that with an EBT card. And that's the whole thing with the Cowboys. You're not getting what they're packaged to be. And as long as he has nepotism in that front office the way that it's going, they're going to suck. I'm not disappointed that they're not going to the playoffs, but they got a 1% chance. But I know the Cowboy fans are disappointed. And you know what? Let me take that back. I am a bit disappointed because I'd like to see them lose in the first round again.
That Christmas came too early this year, John. Too early, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Too early. We would like to see them go down in January. I don't want to see them go down in November.
No,
come on, man.
No,
we got Thanksgiving. Dallas won on Thanksgiving. They had a 3-game win streak, beat Kansas City. Everybody's on the high. Dak Prescott and the offense looks really good, coming back from 21 points down. I mean, everything's at a high. Jerry Jones is starting to get excited again, starting to get his groove back. Then that's
hanging out with Steven Smith in the press box.
And the booth and the suite.
Pissing everybody. But I'm telling you, Dallas is cursed because of the way they did Emmitt Smith.
No, the way they did Jimmy Johnson.
That too. And Jimmy was that dude.
Hey, what?
He was that dude. What? And he scared me. Now, long story short, I had a chance to play for them Cowboys in the supplemental draft in 1988, and I chose to play basketball instead. I could never put that star on my helmet.
I don't blame you.
I couldn't do it.
Why, especially in the 80s at that time, why'd you want to go play with the Cowboys?
No. I look, the only team in the NFL that I despise. There's nothing there's no redeeming quality about being a Cowboy. My nephew was drafted in the NFL, and I told him if he got drafted by the Cowboys, don't come home.
Oh wow,
that's how serious it is. Me and my brother would fight. See, I'm old. You're not old. You're young. See, I'm 60. We had 3 television stations: NBC, ABC, and CBS. Our dials turned like this.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then we had antennas with like aluminum foil on it.
On top, yep.
Right, and then you had little lines in the TV.
Yep.
So if the Cowboys and the Redskins was playing at the same time, me and my brother get into a fist fight.
Oh man.
So that's how bad it was. But like I said, I've grown up to appreciate the Cowboys and what they bring to the table. And if they ever get any excellence back in the NFL, it would actually raise the profile of the NFL. And I think they're needed. I think they're needed. I think Cleveland is needed. I think New England is needed.
Yes.
I think Chicago's needed. And I do believe, for lack of a better term, I do believe that team should move back to Oakland.
Oh, Vegas Raiders? I would like them to see relevant. I would like them to be relevant.
Me too.
I really do.
But I can't see it in Vegas, though, because I don't get that cold football. I like them in Oakland.
Yeah, that's shit. Mark Davis has other plans. Yeah. Let's get into it. John, I want to get your final take for football before we transition to the NBA. It's time for our Thursday night football picks. I am 9-6 on the year for Thursday night football picks. Brian is also 9-6, but John is the guest co-host tonight, so he will get to have his opportunity to either be 1-0 or 0-1. This Thursday we have the Los Angeles Rams at 11-3 going on the road into Seattle, who's also 11-3, and a Thursday night football showdown between two good teams that basically the NFC West is on the line. Seattle is number 2 in the division. The Rams are number 1. Rams or Seahawks, John, who you like to win Thursday night?
Who the Seahawks just get finished playing?
Say again?
Who did they play this week? Seahawks.
Oh, this past week?
Yeah.
The Colts with Phillip Rivers at home.
Right. And how many points did they score? I can tell you, 6 field goals.
No, they scored. Phillip Rivers threw a touchdown.
No. I'm talking about the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. 18-16 was your final.
6 field goals. You going in to play the Rams, and you played Phillip Rivers, who's 722 years old? I mean, his retirement money ran out. I'm telling you, his retirement money is gone.
No, it's not the retirement money, John. It's not the retirement money. His insurance was coming to a close. So him coming back, I'm serious. Him coming back, he has I think he has 9 or 10 kids. That clock's now resetted. So each kid gets, I think it was between, oh my God, because I wrote it down. I was so amazed about the behind the scenes on how Phillip Rivers is actually a genius for this. Each child of his per month is getting $5,500. His children now qualify as eligible dependents and are covered through the NFL player insurance plan based on the NFLPA, mental, dental, and vision.
So when I tell you 6 field goals, you have the son of Moses, almost beating Seattle, and you can't score against Indiana. They don't have a great defense.
The Colts, man, they're shaking up at a wrong time in the season with injuries. Philip Rivers' first game in 5 years.
Exactly. And so now you got to look at the Los Angeles Rams and say, I'm 11-3. I got a quarterback that I really don't want. We're not going to go that far in the playoffs, but they'll beat Seattle.
Because you got the Rams over Seahawks.
Yes.
I'm
taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams.
He's taking the Rams.
I'm taking now, and that's an easy pick. That's an easy pick because honestly, truly, Indiana stopped themselves because they had a geriatric quarterback. I mean, he threw a pass, but he had to check his AARP card first before he can throw that pass and see what kind of discount he got on getting hit. So I'm telling you, man, I like the Rams.
Okay.
They got something special in them. I just think Detroit's going to be a little bit better than them.
They just beat Detroit.
I know, but playoffs is coming. Playoffs coming.
Hey, as I say, playoffs new season 0-0.
It's a new season, but I'm like I said, I'm going to stick with New England this year. I picked New England from the very beginning of the season. To be honest with you,
my man. That's why I love you.
That's before we had a conversation. So
that's why I love you.
That is an honest to God pick. Drake, he's on a different level. Everybody's trying to figure out what New England and what Buffalo is going to do after the regular season's end.
Well, we shall see. It's time for Thursday Night Football picks, and it's also for time for Monty's Thursday Night Football locks, brought to you by no one. I am taking the Los Angeles Rams this Thursday against Seattle Seahawks. Why? Los Angeles coming in as a number 2 offense in the league, scoring over 30 points per game. Matthew Stafford in his career against Seattle, while he's been a Ram, has never lost 8-0 in his career against the Seahawks. I do like the Rams to win with the spread alternated to 4. I do believe this will be a close game. Actually, I lied. Give me the Rams with the 7. They'll win more than a touchdown. Give me Matthew Stafford with over 200 yards passing. Give me Matthew Stafford also to throw a touchdown. I do like Kyron Williams, running back for the Rams, anytime touchdown scorer. And give me Nakua, one of the best receivers in the NFL with over 5 receptions. That is the glue. That is Christmas picks for Thursday Night Football locks, brought to you by Monty, brought to you by also Global Sports Entertainment 3, and also brought to you by, more importantly, do we have a sponsor? Actually, we don't. No one. Give me the Rams on the road against against the Seattle Seahawks in a really, 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 really good game. Both teams 11-3. Rams going to win to move on to 12-3. Sam Darnold, I do not trust. I will not ever trust. And the fact that John said they put up a bunch of field goals to win the game against a 45-year-old quarterback named Philip Rivers, it's over, baby. Give me the Rams. Moving forward, we go to the NBA. NBA Cup final, John. I'm excited for this. I believe Adam Silver and the NBA have done a pretty good job of putting this together. This year, I think, is one of the most exciting years in years past when we talk about the NBA Cup. Yes, the San Antonio Spurs did beat my Los Angeles Lakers, but that's besides the point. What I will say is this, man. I like the Spurs more importantly because anytime Wemby is playing is good for the league. And the fact that they were able to come in and beat an Oklahoma City team who only had 1 loss coming into this year so far, Wemby and the crew made it a personal decision to go out there and put out a good game plan from De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle, and Wemby, the fantastic 3, and of course Dylan Harper Jr. coming off the bench to do what he does best. But the Spurs are coming into this game, John, at 18-7, 5th in the Western Conference, while the Knicks having the best home record in the NBA at 18-7. But this game won't be played in the Garden, John. It'll be played in Vegas, and I look forward to seeing this game for the final for all the gold, the Emirates NBA Cup. Who do you like to win between these two teams, Spurs or Knicks?
I'm taking Jalen Brunson over everybody.
Whoa!
I'm taking Jalen Brunson. And you know what? And the Knicks are perennial chokers. They choke all the time.
They sure do.
But once a Knick, always a Knick. So working for them has given me a good entryway into the NBA after I retired from basketball. And I'll say this: Jalen's the toughest cookie on the planet, man. Mm-hmm. He's made more out of less than anybody I've seen. He's ground Jordan, can't get off the ground. He's vertically challenged. He's the Knicks actually did better with him sitting on the bench during the playoffs last year. Whenever he came out the game, they made a run. But I'm taking Jalen because I think Jalen has a chip on his shoulder from last year. I think this kind of sets him up leading into the meat of the season. I think Karl Anthony Towns is one of those players that really just understands how to get up underneath your skin. So Wemby's going to have to come outside and guard him from the 3-point line. So
Not
take
worried.
him away from. No, and Karl Anthony Towns the biggest flopper on the planet. He's king flop. So at the end of the day, he's also smart. He's very savvy. But one thing I can tell you about a 7'5" guy, as athletic and as long as he is, one thing he doesn't have is that he doesn't have that NBA pedigree yet. He's not played a full season. He's going to be under the big lights. Goes out.
Not a problem.
What's that?
Not a problem. We saw he was on the bright lights against Oklahoma City.
No,
the best team in the Western Conference. Are you kidding me?
You ever heard of law of averages? You ever heard of law of averages?
I have.
Okay, and what's down at the bottom eventually will rise. The sun will shine on a dog's ass at least once. I'm just telling you. I like that kid. He can play. He's a son. But if he was 6'9", he'd just be an average basketball player.
John, dog will shine. The sun will shine a dog's ass. It won't shine. It won't shine tomorrow. It won't shine. It damn sure won't shine with the Spurs and the Knicks, baby. Because look, we look at the matchups. Who are you gonna put on Wemby if you're the Knicks? Mitchell Robinson?
Well, you got to understand.
Towns?
You got to understand this. The NBA They switch everything.
They do.
They switch everything.
They do. And I look at the defensive side to it for the Spurs. I think Castle's going to do a tremendous job defensively on Brunson. He's going to try and headache him best way he can. He's a defenseman specialist at UConn, so I expect nothing different. If there's anybody in the Spurs that I expect to have a really good game, is Keldon Johnson. He hasn't been playing as great these last few games, especially finishing over 8 points against OKC. But look, Darren Fox is going to do his thing. Josh Hart probably going to be the matchup against him. It'll be a good game, man. But I see San Antonio leaving out of Vegas to go fly back to San Antonio with the Gold Cup. That's my opinion.
I will say Landry Shamet is going to be the X factor because he can stroke that ball.
Okay.
Josh Hart is that dude. Bridges, come on, man. Here's one thing you got to realize about the Knicks. They're in New York.
No, they're in Vegas.
No. They're still in New York. This is still the New York Knicks. So every place is New York in America.
Okay,
to a New Yorker, America is New York. Okay.
You're right.
So they're going to go out there with a different level chip on their shoulder because everybody wants this guy to be that dude. Now, we won't have an American MVP in the NBA for a long time.
That is true.
Jalen Brunson wants to change that narrative.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening.
Well, I'm telling you, I like San Antonio. I like what they have. Keldon Johnson's my dude. I love. He's so underrated as a player.
I agree.
He has not had a chance to go out and shine. I'd like to see him in another system. I'd love to see him with the Lakers. Ooh,
okay.
I'd love to see him with the Lakers. Austin Reeves, Keldon, Luka, LeBron. Move LeBron.
Yeah,
just let Keldon do his thing because that kid is brilliant on the court. He's brilliant.
Good basketball mind as well.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. And that's the difference between everybody else like Keldon and the Knicks. Keldon, if they win, will be the X factor for San Antonio. If Keldon does not go out and give me 12, 14 points and give me 6 or 7 rebounds, which he can do on a nightly basis, if he doesn't come and play that way, shit, Josh Hart's going to cook them.
Oof. All right.
Bridges, Josh, Mikal, Jalen.
Okay, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, shit. Let me see. Wait a minute. Time out. OG. Dude.
Vessel, Barnes, Harper.
But here's what's really unfair about the Knicks versus San Antonio. I think everybody on the Knicks is making $100 million.
Pretty much.
So they better win. They absolutely better win. But, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm taking New York because of the experience. That's all.
All right. John's rolling with the Knicks. I'm rolling with the Spurs. John, let's get your quick NBA champion pick before you leave. Who do you see winning it all this year at the end of June?
God, jeez.
I'm sorry to put you on the hot. I'm sorry to put you on the hot.
If you'd asked me that 2 weeks ago, I'd have said OKC again.
Oh, OKC 24-2, best record in the NBA.
I'd have said that. So here's the sad part about it. I'm not a fan of the Lakers, not since LeBron signed to play with them. I used to love the Lakers. I think the Lakers really has a really solid team.
I don't think we have enough.
You don't have enough, I think. But so that was going to be my caveat. If they can make a trade or two, if they can somehow convince Giannis,
I don't know. Would you give up?
Everybody.
I'm not giving up Reeves. I'm not giving up Luka.
No, you're not giving up Luka. You're not giving up Reeves. Everybody else can go. Look, Giannis can do everything.
They could take Bronny. They could take Rui Hachimura.
That's what I'm saying.
They could take Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, they could even take DeAndre Ayton. Take his ass too.
What's to do? Connect? I like
Connect
him.
Four. I don't know why JJ's not having him in rotation.
Oh, that dude, he can go.
He can play.
He can go. He can
play.
Go.
I mean, you could take Gabe Vincent too. I mean, I would keep Marcus Smart just from a defensive presence standpoint. I do like
and a leadership standpoint.
And the leadership standpoint he brings. He's a veteran. Those guys I named, you can.
That's
Doc
what
Rivers,
I'm saying.
Take them. Give us Giannis.
Because they know they're not going to win the chip, so they need a financial purge so they can rebuild.
And you have Luka and Giannis in LA. Woo!
That's all I'm saying. Take LeBron and go.
Take him and go. Ship him.
Take him and go. He got no trade clause. Who cares? Take him and go.
We got new ownership in the building, so Jeannie ain't running the show no more, baby. They can't, and they fired a few buses also, which I'm not mad at, but we shall see. John, last thing before you go, for the people out there that may not know you, where to support you, or give them where they can find you on social media, as well as tell us anything that you may be having coming down the pipe with things going on in your world, especially being a full service client representation firm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, I've represented guys like Mitchell Robinson, Tony Bradley, co-represented with PJ Tucker, Chris Clemens, who played Lance Thomas from Duke, a bunch of guys overseas, very heavy to WNBA early on. I really like to help the under the radar type of guys. I took Kai Jones when everyone said he'll never get back into the NBA, cleaned him up, got him back in. We didn't re-sign this year because Dallas couldn't get rid of the contract to Powell. Went to the EuroLeague. But, Instagram, I'm there. Facebook, just regular name, nothing major. I try to stay away from doing too much promotion. But I will say this. I love life. I wake up every day thanking God for every day. And to be a kid that's the youngest of 10 who had a chance to see the world because of what I decided I wanted to do early on, stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol, stay away from having children out of wedlock. It gave me my life to go out and do anything and everything I wanted to do when people told me I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I like to promote the under-promoted. So I say that to say that life is beautiful. Anything that you decide you want to do in life, you can do. You just got to believe in yourself. Matter of fact, don't believe in yourself because believe requires doubt. Know yourself. Know that you can. Because when you go out and say, I believe, it means that on the other side, there might be some disbelief. But I knew everything I was going to be doing in life. And so my biggest thing is just making sure that people understand that they're loved. And when you put your arms around them, you'll find success.
Get emotional up in here, Johnny. You had to say,
don't cry, man.
You had to drop it on like that, man.
I'm about to come and jack you for your damn sweater, bro. So don't get it twisted. I would rock the hell out that sweater.
Hey, you got to come to Jersey and get it. Come back to your old stomping ground.
Dude, my nephew lives in Hillsboro.
Let me know next time you're here, man.
We used to go play ball at the Somerville YMCA with Jason Williams the day before he shot the limo driver. I got stories.
Hey, let me know next time you're in town, man. I look forward to getting together with you, man.
Let's do it. Let's go break bread. I appreciate the love.
I appreciate you coming.
Tell
you guys
Chris
didn't know.
And B, I said hello.
Always, man. And I guarantee you'll be back next year in 2026, baby, because we got business.
Hey, look, give me a call. I know some people. I know you need some sponsorships. It's not that difficult of a thing to put together. Let's take the rewind and make it fast forward fast.
I appreciate it, brother. I will. You have my word. John Spencer, thank you for taking the time to come out and join us on our last episode before our holiday break, episode 45. I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you down the road, my man. And I'm calling you. I'm going to call you after Christmas. I'm going to give you the holidays so you can see Baltimore one more week, see New England go on there Sunday and beat them up. And I'm going to call you right after Christmas for the new year and say, hey, man, what can we do going into 2026 to get this thing to another level?
No, let's do it. And there's a guy named Steve Shear. Write his name down. Steve Shear, Scheer. He's executive producer of Fox Sports 1, very good friend of mine. He worked CBS Sports when I was on the NFL with CBS Sports. Gus Johnson, who's doing television right now. Spiro Diaz, all my guys. But Steve put all of us on. And I'm gonna make a connection between you and Steve.
Steve, man, I'm looking to be a sports broadcaster. I can do play-by-play or color commentary, sideline report, whatever you need. My gift and skills will do the rest. I promise you. And you know what's funny, John, I say that. One of my mentors, who's now the head coach at University of San Diego, Steve Lavin, he got me the internship for Fox Sports in 2020. Got me the interview, get out there, crushed it, got my internship letter. I was excited. I was going to be out there in LA for the whole year, and then COVID happened.
Oh, God bless you. I'll tell you what, Howard University is looking for somebody to come in and do play-by-play for the second half of the season.
Call me.
I'm going to put you on the air with Grant and make sure we can get it done.
I'll be on the train. I'll drive down, catch the train. I don't care what it takes to get down there to be on the sidelines. Call me. I'm available. I'm gonna text you Eric's number tomorrow morning. Send me a reminder. I will text you tomorrow morning.
All right, brother. I appreciate
you, brother. Thank you.
God bless. Mm-hmm.
You as well. The great John Spencer joining us in episode 45. Can't wait to see him back on episode 2026 when that time comes. But just look at what the power of belief can do. And we have been so fortunate to have guests from ESPN, folks from Fox Sports, folks from the NBA, folks from the NFL, former NBA retirees, people that have played at the highest collegiate level in college football and college basketball, and having people that want to see you win. You know, it's funny. I just put a post out on our Facebook group, and I said Ewalo was speaking an important message, and my caption, what it was: if people want to see you win, they will see you win. Now, I've never met John a day in my life in person. We've always had a virtual relationship. And again, actions aligning with words. People can say a whole bunch of stuff. It sounds fantastic. It sounds amazing. If the actions of what they're saying don't align with their words, then it's just words. And we've been blessed on the Rewind to do this for 45 episodes. And we've been blessed, more importantly, to have people that want to see this brand or want to see the show or want to see me in life grow and get better, because people say I've been here before. People say I'm really good at what I do, but it all comes from preparation. The same preparation that I put into preparing for two teams to play before I do commentary duties is no different from the preparation I put in for the rerun. Rather it's writing the script, rather it's watching tape, rather it's taking notes. All those things makes it easy, but they don't see the behind the scenes stuff. So John Spencer, appreciate you. I will text you tomorrow morning. I appreciate you taking the time to come on and Rewind. But we got two more things to get ready to go before we get up out of here. And it's this week's edition of Rewind of the Week. Actually, no, we will not do Rewind of the Week. I'm sorry, because we had some technical difficulties with our producer, our graphic designer behind the scenes. So I won't be able to do that. But the power of the what? Pivot. It is this week's edition, and our last edition for our holiday break is Floss with Moss with your boy, solo edition, because it's just me, no Bryant. Thank the God in heaven. Let's go, baby. Last one before we ride. On this week's edition, our last edition before the holiday break of Rewind of the Week. Sorry, Floss with Moss. It's a special gratitude and thank you to all of you, the people, the supporters that have supported us from our journey starting in early January of 2025, 45 episodes in. We have been blessed. I want to personally say on behalf of me, on behalf of GSE3, on behalf of Chris, our producer, on behalf of Brian and Chris, I'm sorry, and Pat, and everyone who plays a part in the Rewind to help us grow behind the scenes. We want to say happy holidays to you and your families. We do know that during this time of year, it can be somewhat exciting for those to see family, but also it can be somewhat emotional and sad with losing family members. My great-grandma's birthday actually is on Christmas Day, so I know that will be always a challenge in itself. And I'm really, really excited for this upcoming year because it's been a long year, a year of ups and downs, a year of setbacks, a year of learning who I am as a person and learning to trust my skills, my passion, my instincts to grow each and every week. People say that it looks easy, but it's not. I mean, 45 episodes, but you don't see the countless hours of me and the team of what we discuss behind the scenes and meetings. Doing an episode or a show each week, it has its ups and downs. I've had a lot of great weeks where it's been awesome. And I've had a lot of bad weeks where it's like, man, it's just been a crappy week or a crappy day. But again, having the opportunity to come do this is what makes it more fulfilling. So when I think about this year, I think about all the no's, all the things that were going against me and going against the brand and going against, asking people to pretty much come and help and them saying no for other obvious reasons. And pretty much having to put this thing together with like-minded people that believe in my passion and my joy for talking sports. Again, podcasting, I've been down the road before, but broadcasting is where my heart will always be. So with the God-given grace, I look forward to hopefully having the opportunity to get back on the sidelines and do what I do best. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. I mean, if you didn't know, it meant the world to me personally to put the planning in place for our Canada trip to 1990 Studios in Toronto, Canada. We had talked about this. It was on our agenda for the entire year. We were close at some point early in the year, I believe in the summertime, to get out there to Toronto. Didn't work out, but God give me the stability and the endurance and grace to bring it full circle. So getting on it, planning it with Chris on what works for him, because he's in 1990 Studios and his studio that he built. His story alone is just incredible. To bet on himself. I mean, this is a guy that had a 9-to-5 that was making really good money, but he had other ideas, he had other dreams, he had other passions he wanted to fulfill. So he quit his 9-to-5 with ideas. Doesn't mean it was all set in stone, to build his own foundation in 1990 Studios. And the opportunity to get down there, about a 6-hour drive from Brian's house to Toronto, crossing the Canadian border, that was experience in itself. But just the opportunity to get there, to see him, to meet him, to hug him, and just give him my love and appreciation for how much he means to me and my life, how much he means to GSE3, how much he means to pretty much being able to put two of that power and energy together to put out a good quality of work. And I take pride in putting out a good product of work. He takes pride of it because, the Rewind and GSE3 and 1990 Studios, they are all in cahoots together to blend organically and align together. Because if it was a bad product, if it was something that he wouldn't have personally wanted to be a part of, or something he didn't want to continue to work with, he would have already made that vocally clear earlier on in the stages. But he has built something special with 1990 Studios. And to get down there to the studio, and he set everything up for us, rolled out the red carpet. I mean, it was just something, a moment and a day, an experience that I'll never forget. And I hope that this podcast, this brand, can continue to grow to levels of the unknown. right? I have all these ideas on where I would like to be. And I know that comes with more hard work, more discipline, more stability, more strength that I'm willing to do and have done. But this has been a blessing. I mean, I'm grateful to do this. I'm grateful to be able to put out a product of what I enjoy. I'm grateful to have guests from all walks of life that have blessed me with their presence, blessed me with their time. And we're putting some together for you guys at the end of years in terms of putting some of our great guests in a collage. We're also putting together our end of the year video of us putting together everything that transpired from leading up to Canada to in studio to out of the studio to back on the road to getting back home. We're putting some things together to end the year off the right way. And I just want to say thank you to Chris. I want to say thank you to Pat. I want to say thank you to Logan, who's came in and pitched in as a reliever in times, and just to kind of give the brand more exposure, more of a taste, a different blend. You know, I want to thank my co-host. He's been awesome. And we have a lot of goals this year for next year. I'm sorry that we want to accomplish. That's having a female co-host. I would love a woman's voice, a woman's presence on this platform. And I won't stop until I get that done. My plan is to get some more merchandise out to you guys, you know, partner with Brian, who I wore his shirt last week, went down to his shop, his store, saw all the work he does. He has a great team down there. Would like to get that, but it's hard when it's just you. Right. A lot of people will think that this is something that we're getting help from others. I mean, the help from others is liking and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The help from others is liking, reposting on our platforms on Instagram and TikTok, subscribing and liking on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's the help we would love to get. And we hope to continue to get. I mean, we're not where we want to be in terms of subscribers, but YouTube is a grind in itself. TikTok, we've done really well. We're not up there with the big dogs, but I feel like we're in our own lane doing what we do at our own pace, because when you're rushing for the results, bad things happen. And we're not in a space to do that. We're taking this 1 week at a time. We're doing things strategically. We're doing things organically. And I have big dreams. I hope this thing can blow up in whatever way possible, with sponsorships, with brand deals, with everything, where everyone from this brand that contributes to this brand can eat from the same plate that I'm eating from. Because, you know, as I say, if there's enough food on the table for everybody to enjoy, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. So as we get ready to end this episode, the last episode for the holiday break, I want to say congratulations to Chris. And if you guys are out there and support 1990 Studios, if you don't, please follow them on Instagram. Give him a shout out on a successful, God willing, on his first newborn. He's got a baby boy that's coming to town this week. His wife is getting ready to make that baby come out anytime now this week. And I want to say congratulations to Chris on that, because fatherhood is something that I haven't experienced yet, but I do know that Chris would be a great father, because he's a great man. And if there's one thing I do know is I don't want to be a great man, because not all great men are great men, but most good men can become great men. And Chris was a good man, and now he's a great man with the son coming this week. And I'm really blessed and happy that he's able to have that moment, to have that experience, and to share it with the world, you know, when that time comes. So episode 45 has been a blessful experience. And I look forward to the work that we're getting ready to do in 2026, because it could not have been done without you guys. It could not have been done with the guests that we have that took time out of their schedule to come on and bless us. It could not have been done with the brainstorming of putting us together in a room to put things together to make this what it is. 2026, we got some better things coming from you guys from a production standpoint. We have some better things coming to you guys from a guest list standpoint. And I've emptied a clip, and I'm putting everything I have in my network and all the people that we have in their networks to make this the best it can possibly be. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I want to give a special shout out to my mom. Thank you for supporting me week in and week out. You know, she calls me a superstar, and God's grace, I hope to be a superstar in whatever role that may be in my future. I hope the year 2026 is a great year for all of us. I hope the year 2026 is great for the Rewind, for myself, for the brand, for Chris, for Pat, for Brian. I hope we all win from this thing. And I just really want everybody to enjoy the holiday breaks. It's a time to come together with family, celebrate those moments, create those moments, cherish those moments, because we only get to do this once. 2025 has went by lightning fast. I mean, it went by faster than I could think of. But the fact that God has brought us from January to December, 12 months in a year, and to still be alive and to still be healthy and to still do the things we want to do, to still have the ability to get up and be great each and every day, 24 hours in a day, that's a blessing in itself. So I thank God for that. I thank God for all the people he's brought into my life for all the right reasons. I thank God for the people that he's taken out of my life. And strangers make you rich, as Wallow says. And strangers will come into your life for all the right reasons. And I've been blessed to meet some really good people in my life this past year. And I look forward to cultivating and building those relationships. And it's been an honor. It's been a privilege to be the host of the Rewind, to bring this to fruition, to have something like this that I've had on the want to do list since 2024. And God will make things happen when he is ready for it to happen. His timing is always better than ours. And I learned that the hard way in Rhode Island. So if you haven't, please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all of our social media platforms at the Rewind_GSC3. We thank you for all the love and support that you've shown us on our platforms each and every week. Please, 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 we need all the love and support. Share, like, follow, subscribe. Thank you to Chris and 1990 Studios for the work they do on each and every week for the Rewind, building this thing from the ground up. We're going to continue to build this thing best way we know how. Thank you to John Spencer, our guest, from coming on tonight, our guest co-host, because Brian was able to fulfill his job, and he may be fired during the break. You just may never know. Like I said, 2026, going to be some new changes, going to be some new looks. So we shall see with that, and I look forward to seeing everybody next year, the new year, 2026. So to everybody out there, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you and your families. Monty Moss, 1990 Studios, Brian Garvin, John Spencer, signing off, episode 45, our last. Look at God playing with me today, but that's a devil playing with me today, but that's okay. Our last episode before the new year is over. We hope everyone has a great, marvelous Merry Christmas, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I get this year, even though I'm not expecting much, but we thank you. We love you. Episode 45 in the books. We'll see you guys January. The first Wednesday in January of 2026 will be episode 46 of the Rewind. So from now till then, be well, be safe, be blessed, love all. Love wins. And remember, the people that aren't in your life for all the right reasons, cut them out. And if their actions don't align with their words, they're just words. Episode 45. We'll see you guys next year. Take care. God bless. And to Chris, always end with 2 words before we end, or I'll end with something before the end of each episode. And I do know that Ohio State will play Georgia in the semifinal. And I do know that Georgia will win to advance to another national championship. Go Dogs. See you guys next year. Enjoy.
Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed.
What?
And now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed. And now that you haters is running from me,